back to the channel. My name is Kisiwa, and if you're new here, I share content on study abroad and scholarship opportunities. So if you're interested in these kind of content, it'll be great to subscribe to the channel and hit on the notification bell so you don't miss any opportunity I post here. Today we'll be looking at one interesting scholarship program in a Canadian university, and the value of the scholarship is 140,000 Canadian dollars plus 8,000 Canadian dollars for living expenses. And this is great. I mean, that is great news for international students. Now, the scholarship is being offered by Simon Fraser University, located in British Columbia in Canada. And yeah, let's move straight to the scholarship program. Okay, so the program we're going to look at today is called USES, or Undergraduate Scholars Entrance Scholarship. And before we go into details, there is also another scholarship I would like to draw your attention to in this university. And the scholarship is International Excellence Entrance Scholarship. Now, the value of the scholarship is 10,000 Canadian dollars annually, and the number is not specific. It is for only international citizens, and you can apply to this scholarship if you submit your application for the full term only. There are other great scholarships here as well, which you can take a look at. Okay, so then let's move on to the business of the day, which is the Undergraduate Scholars Entrance Scholarship. Now, this scholarship program is offered to both domestic and international students. However, the value for international students is way higher than domestic students, and there are so many preferences given to students who wins the scholarship program in terms of accommodation and any other thing. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at the minimum requirement to be considered for the scholarship. First, you should be applying for the full term in Simon Fraser University, and you should be currently completing final year of high school, or you have completed or graduated from high school in the past year and have not enrolled in any post-secondary courses or university. It should also meet the minimum requirement, which we will take a look at shortly, and you should have grades in 90% range in the courses required for admission to your primary program. So what this requirement means is that you should get at least 90% range in grade from your high school program in certain courses, not all the courses, but in certain courses. So for example, if you're applying for a science program in Simon Fraser University, then at least you should get your physics, your chemistry, your biology grade in the 90th percentile. For the business, they will take a look at your math grade at the high school level to be within the range of 90%. Okay, so that is what it means. You should demonstrate excellence in both academic and extracurricular activities. You can have two complete references, and you can complete all items on the student center to-do list by January 31st, 2024. Now, if I didn't mention, application period for this scholarship program is October 1st, 2023 to December 15th, 2023. All supporting documents should reach the university latest by 31st of January 2024. Okay. Now, once you meet the requirements, you're good to submit your application. Currently, it's not open, and so I cannot take you through the application process. I'm hoping forward to do that when it opens. Okay. Yeah. So, what should be included in your application process? When filling the application on the online portal, these are some of the things you're going to meet. They're going to ask you questions based on your community involvement and achievement. So, if you have done any volunteer work, if you have any professional work experience, if you were an athlete, if you are into art, or you have other personal achievements, you can list them on the portal. And if there are awards to show any of this, you can also list them. You also be required to write a short essay describing how your personal experiences shaped your outlook on life and how this connects to your future at Simon Fraser University. Now, this essay should not be more than 500 words. I mentioned earlier that you need references, one academic and then one community involvement and achievements reference. Now, you only list the names and email addresses of your referees, and an email will be sent to them with a form for them to fill and then return it back to the university. Okay, so that is how the reference side will be filled. There is an additional information. Now, this information is optional. If you can describe your financial circumstances to the university, sure, you can also put it on the list when filling your application form. They've also provided you with tips on how to prepare for the application, so you can read through that. Now let's take a look at the value of the scholarship for international applicants. So international applicants have two scholarship values. Okay, the first is 140,000 Canadian dollars only, and the second is 140,000 Canadian dollars plus 8,000 Canadian dollars for living expenses per term. So the 8,000 is per term for living expenses. So this is great for international students. There are also priorities given to applicants who win the scholarship program. So if you were a student who won the scholarship program and you want a campus accommodation, you will be considered first to the other students, okay? And lastly, let's take a look at this information, which is very vital. So if you are an applicant to the School of Business and Sustainable Energy Engineering, then there is no need for you to submit your application before you apply for the scholarship. Submitting your application or applying for the scholarship directly gives you access to be admitted or to be considered for admission. Okay, so here, if you have not started your supplementary application for admission and you have also not started your scholarship application, then you have to complete the scholarship application only by the application deadline for the scholarship. And if you have completed your supplemental application for admission and you have not started your scholarship application, then it means you have to complete a scholarship application also. And if you have not started your supplemental application for admission and you have completed your scholarship application, then there is no need for you to take any action. Once you have applied for the scholarship, your application will be used in lieu of your supplemental application for admission purposes. So yes, that is it. Only for the School of Business and Sustainable Energy Engineering applicants, not all the students. Kindly take note of that. Now, before we go to the deadlines and timelines, let's take a look at the admission requirements. Okay, so when you come to the admission requirements page, it gives you the opportunity to check out the information for Indigenous, British, Advanced, Caribbean, French, Baccalaureate applicants. Sorry, I'm going very fast. I want this video to be very short. Okay, kindly bear with me. Now, if you are not among this, then you have to search out for the international country specific requirements. So on this page, it brings you or gives you the option to select the country in which you are applying from. Okay. Now, I don't know if this will show on my screen. It usually doesn't show. So for the purpose of it not showing, let me mention the name of the countries under the specific country requirement. Okay. Now, if your country was not mentioned, we will also look at another requirement for you. So under the specific country admission requirement, we have countries like Australia, Austria, Bangladesh, Brazil, China, Colombia, Egypt, France, Germany, Hong Kong, India, Indonesia, Japan, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Mauritius, Mexico, Nigeria, Norway, Pakistan, Philippines, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan, Turkey, United Kingdom, Vietnam. Okay, so these are the countries that have specific country requirements admission. Now, if your country was not mentioned there, then it means you will need the basic requirements. And let's take a look at the basic requirements. So for the basic requirement, they'll need your English language requirement if required, and they'll need a quantitative and analytical skill requirement. You check out the details here, and all the students must present a minimum grade of C minus or 60% in a junior or senior level acceptable math course. Take note of that. Then the general requirement is to submit transcripts, which include your grades for all courses completed and final grades for first semester of senior high school. Okay, So yeah, this is the requirement. Now, usually for those from West African countries like Nigeria, you'll be required to submit your scratch card, a copy of your scratch card, so they can attest to your final high school results. Okay. And then there is the faculty program specific requirement. So this, on clicking on the plus button, it drops down to the programs under the faculty. So under Faculty of Applied Sciences, there is computer science, there is geographic information science, and software science. And this is the requirements needed for you for this particular program. Okay, listed here. For the School of Business, we have programs like accounting, entrepreneurship, and innovation. They have finance, human resource management, international business, informa- management information systems, marketing and operations management. And this is the specific requirement, senior level math for this School of Business. For Faculty of Arts and Sciences, we have these programs here: anthropology, archaeology, Asian, Canada, cognitive science, criminology, economics, English, explorations, First Nations, French cohort, gender, sexuality and women's studies, history, humanities, international studies, labor studies, languages, Latin American studies, linguistics, philosophy, political science, psychology, sociology, and world literature. So these are the programs. And for this program, once you meet the general requirement, there is no additional faculty or program course requisite needed. So yeah. So based on the program you're interested in, you look at the specific requirements needed for that program. Okay, so that is it for the requirement. For the application timeline, as I mentioned earlier, the application period is between October 1st to December 15th, 2023. For supporting documentation deadline, you have to submit every document needed to support your application latest by 31st of January 2024, and this includes the references. So once you list a couple of people's name as your referees, kindly draw their attention to it that they'll be expecting an email from the university and they have to fill the form for you before the deadline, or else your application will not be considered. Now, latest by May 2024, use the winners will be announced. Okay, so take note of that. So that is the timeline for the application for this program. So lastly, if you want to reach out to the university to make inquiries about the scholarship, just to be sure of how to submit your application and everything involved, you can send an email to the contact here, and they will be glad to assist you. Okay, so that is it. Now, if you've come this far, don't forget to like the video. If you find value in this particular video, kindly like it and you can recommend it to your friends. Okay, thank you so much for sticking till now, and see you in my next video. It's a bye for now.